Welcome back to Living Inspired with Autism, the podcast where we dive deep into creating an extraordinary life for ourselves and for our families. I'm your host, Antoinette, and today we're going to be talking about something that I really want you all to think about, and that's the power for fighting for what you want and need. Now, whether you're advocating for your child's education, or building your dream business, or simply trying to get that restaurant table you prefer, there's an art and a necessity to standing up and fighting for what matters for you. And I have some incredible news to share that perfectly illustrates this point. How are you doing, my friend? I'm absolutely amazing today because I've got the most credible news. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know I've been sharing the saga of navigating the school system for my son, Max. Everyone, and I mean everyone, told us that what we wanted for Max was almost impossible, and I'm saying this in umlaut, and that the typical route would take years. Well, my friends, I am thrilled to tell you that impossible just became possible. Took us exactly, I want to say from start to finish, 6.5 months, but it's actually been about 4 months to get Max into this particular school we knew he needed, with the supports we knew would help him thrive. And this is just a win for my husband, Mark, and me. This is a massive victory for Max. And this right here is what it looks like to advocate for your child. This is what it looks like to fight for what you want. Now, I know that was a longer intro than usual, but I am fired up about this because it leads perfectly into today's topic, which is fighting for what you want. And I've been noticing so many examples recently that honestly perplexes me. My husband and I, we always fight for what we want. We never give up. We're an incredible team in this way. But even before we were together, we each had this same quality. We kept fighting and we never gave up. So I started wondering, what is that quality exactly? Is it something that we were born with? Is it our circumstances? Maybe we're used to getting what we want and feel entitled to it? Is it personality, ambition? I honestly don't know the complete answer to this, but what I do know is this. Many of you could use a lot more fighting for what you want in your life because I believe that you could get so much more than you're currently settling for. Now, let me be crystal clear about something. Fighting for what you want is completely different from complaining about what you're not getting. I'm not talking about whining. I'm not talking about complaining, and I'm certainly not talking about blaming. I'm talking about fighting and be willing to give of yourself in the good fight. Now, I've been told no countless times. I've been told things won't work out. And you know what? I fight for what I want. Do I always get it? Absolutely not. I don't always make my fight. I don't always get to go to the front of the line. I don't always get the deal that I'm hoping for. But here's the key. Most often, I put in the effort to fight. I'm talking to many of my coaching clients about this, and I believe many of us are giving up way too early. So let's talk about relationships. The relationships we want to have. Friendships, romantic partnerships, committed, intimate relationships. If I'm in a relationship and someone wants to break up with me, for example, divorce me or leave me, and I want to be with them, I'm going to fight until the end of days. I'm going to put in as much effort as I possibly can to maintain that relationship, even at the risk of not saving face. I'm willing to lay it all out for a relationship that matters to me. And here's what astounds me. I've seen so many examples where people make zero effort, zero, to maintain relationships that they clearly care about deeply. I've broken up with people who've made no effort to fight for us, yet you could tell that they were devastated. These are friendships and family relationships and dating relationships. There's just no fight, no effort put into trying to keep what they want. And I've had people try to sell me things and I say no once and they just give up. That's mind-boggling to me. Let me paint you a picture. If a friend came to me and said, I don't think we should be friends anymore, and this was an important friendship to me, I'd say, no, that's not an option. We're friends and there's nothing you can do about it. I want to be your friend. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to come over to your house. I'm going to have the hard conversations and I'm going to text you. I'm going to do whatever it takes. If I want that relationship, I am going down swinging. I am not going to let anyone take something away from me, even if it's a person in the relationship with me, without showing all of my effort and letting them see that. And I think so many of us want to be fought for. We want someone to put in the effort into maintaining a friendship or a relationship or partnership. We don't want someone to just say, okay, sounds good, whatever you want. Now this applies to careers too. I've been in situation as an employee where they have tried to break up with me. We don't need this position anymore and we don't need you to work here. My response? What? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. What can we do? Let's work on this together. I am not going anywhere. I am working here for free until you can figure out how to pay me. I'll do whatever job you need me to do. I'll change what I'm doing. I'll perform at a higher level. What's it going to take? I'll never forget an article I read about a young man who came out to his conservative religious mother as gay. And she told him he was no longer her son and couldn't attend family events anymore. His response? He laughed at her. What? I'm going to be here for every event. I am going to be here for every holiday. I am going to be coming over for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I'm going to be in your life. I'm going to call you every single day. You can do what you want, but this is what I'm going to do, period. Now, for years, he showed up to every event, and she wouldn't even acknowledge him. But he didn't give up. Eventually, he wore her down with love and persistence. They now have an amazing relationship. Here's another story. A man decided to leave his wife for another woman. They had 2 children together, and the wife said, listen, you can leave and you can be with other women, but we're not getting divorced. I am not leaving you. You can leave me, but I am not leaving you. I'm still here. I'm still committed to you and this family. If you need to go and be with her, fine, but you can come home anytime. I am here. I'm your wife, and I want to be with you. Now, listen, I'm not suggesting everyone should handle situations this way. Maybe you'd fight differently. Maybe you'd say, hell no, you're not going to another woman. You're staying here and we're working this out. The point is, too many of us aren't even putting up a fight. We're not going after what we want, especially if we feel like we're somehow at fault. Here's something that literally breaks my heart. Watching new entrepreneurs give up after less than a year. And when I say I'm not talking about age, I'm talking about entrepreneurial age. We have the opportunity of 1,000 lifetimes to be entrepreneurs right now. You've expressed interest in being an entrepreneur. You signed up for this journey. You were putting in effort, and then you just give up so easily without a real fight, without the effort, without putting yourself out there. Instead, you go into self-blame, or you blame someone else, you're whining about it, or accepting that I knew I wasn't good enough for this. And I want to ask you, what are you willing to do for the things that you truly want in your life? How many little things? Missing a plane, not getting the food that you want at a restaurant, not getting the reservation you want. How many times are you not fighting or standing up for what you actually want? My promise to you, you will never regret fighting for something you want, even if you don't get it. If you put your heart and soul into something, fight for it. Put your effort into it and still don't get it, you can walk away with your dignity intact, knowing you did everything you could. But when you don't even try, when you give up before making any effort to fight for what you want, you are letting yourself down. You have to believe you're worth fighting for. I'm your employer and I don't fight for your job. I'm not giving it to you. If I'm in a relationship with you and say, I don't think this is working out, and you just say, okay, that's it, that's the end. But I'm going to put in this effort, not by shaming, complaining, or blaming, but by simply fighting for what I truly want, knowing that's for the highest good. So here's my call of action for you. What do you want in your life that you're not fighting for? Is it a relationship? Is it something to do with your child? What are you not fighting for? I can't tell you how many times I've coached people who haven't spoken to their sisters or brothers in years. At least a dozen sister fights. I ask, do you want to talk to your sister? Do you love her? And they say, yes. And I'll say, call her. Why don't you call her? And they'll go, well, I don't know. She's mad at me. Okay, she's mad at you. Call her and fight for her. Fight for your relationship with her. Fight for everything that matters to you. Your kids, your family members, your friends. What if you call and fight for them and they still don't want the relationship? You have lost nothing. All you've done is fight for yourself. You've had your own back. You might not have that friend, but you'll have you. And you'll know you laid it all out there. Listen, I am going to lay it out for you. I'm not going to sit in an airport for 5 hours if I can get on a plane. Yes, you have to use what you have. Some of you might not have a couple of $100 to tip someone for help, but some of you do and still wouldn't have the fight to actually ask for assistance. You've got to take the risks, my friends. You've got to be willing to fight for yourself. And at the end of your life, I promise you, you're going to appreciate every single time you went to bat for yourself. Every time you made an effort to fight for what you wanted and needed. So go out there and fight for yourselves. Fight for your children. Fight for your dreams. Fight for the life that you know is possible. Okay. Thank you for joining me today on Living Inspired with Autism. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And remember, you are worth fighting for. Your child is worth fighting for. Until next time, keep living inspired.